my opinion, Zani is the character with the strongest combat feedback in Wuthering Waves, and there is no one else like her. This is not only due to her sweeping strikes, impact effects, and dynamic sound cues, it also lies in her skill mechanics. Releasing the resonant skill at the right moment allows you to perform a shield counter. This is not merely a dedicated action module. It also grants additional edge break and damage mitigation. Moreover, when the energy is full, the shield counter will be replaced with a sword counter. At this moment, the weapon morphing, coupled with the dynamic camera angles, evokes the thrill I felt from the super elemental discharge in Monster Hunter.
就稍微陪你们玩玩。
What's incredible is that for just this small resonance skill, the production team has prepared a full 9 voice lines. As for the ultimate, there are also as many as 6. Zani should have the most combat voice lines in Wuthering Waves. Besides her resonance skill, Zani actually has variations in her normal attacks. Whenever we interrupt the attack during the 3rd segment of her normal attack, she will sit and lean on a stool.
这家伙光看站姿就强得可怕。
But this isn't just for show. The golden flash here signals that the next segment of her normal attack has been replaced with a new move. Tapping the normal attack button again at this point will let her throw her shield, dealing multiple instances of damage. Not only does this attack have a full duration guard-breaking effect, but it also restores a large amount of energy gauge in one go, which is pretty satisfying. As a player of Bloodborne and Monster Hunter, what captivates me most about Zani is undoubtedly the weapon transformation system. Every time a weapon completes its form shift between sword and shield, the accompanying sound effects and visual effects embody a kind of mechanical beauty, akin to the addictive satisfaction of fidgeting with EDC stress relief toys. Perhaps this is also one of the factors contributing to Zani's excellent impact feedback. In addition to character movements, environmental destruction design also plays a role in enhancing the sense of impact. Unlike the early launch period when there were only a few destructible objects, the tavern scene in the recent Zani companion mission is filled with numerous breakable items: wine glasses, tables, chairs, roulette wheels, etc., all rich in detail. Even the billiards table achieves differentiated destruction effects for different parts. The sandbags also feature physics-based reactive hit dynamics. Though these environmental destruction elements may seem non-core to gameplay, they serve as key components in enhancing the sense of impact through detailed feedback from environmental interactions. After discussing the sense of impact, another advancement in this companion mission is camera work. We know that the narrative performances can generally be divided into 2 types. One is the normal dialogue mode, which features a dialogue box at the bottom and requires clicking to proceed to the next line. The other is preset pure cutscene animations without a dialogue box at the bottom. The quality of these cutscenes goes without saying. They've always maintained a high standard. However, they account for less than 10% of the overall storyline's runtime. Therefore, to further enhance the performance, the team had to focus on improving the normal dialogue sections. This led to the use of more expressive and urgent camera work than ever before. And there are also these kinds of quick, dynamic cuts and shots.
看你还有几条命能挣扎！
And there are also some character entrance shots with gentle camera work.
哪种好呢？
Compared to the widely criticized standstill dialogues at launch, the progress made a year later is evident. But Zani, why are you rewarding him? After talking about the camera works, let's take a look at the visual design of characters. In Wuthering Waves, many characters have a second form, but the changes between the 2 forms of these characters are generally quite minor, mostly confined to the texture mapping level. But Zani is different. Compared with her original form, multiple parts of her second form have been remodeled. For example, the bandage wrapped around her hand is actually a tie torn from her neck. The original black collar has now transformed into a floating digital neck ring. The buttons of her upper garment have come undone, revealing her second mole. What's most impressive is her hair ablaze with flames. The surging energy has formed an air heat wave around her that can refract light. Meanwhile, her pupils and horns emit a glow, and her tail is ablaze. Every detail has been meticulously crafted. Additionally, the Sonnet's mark hidden on her back is revealed. The horn models in her two forms are distinctly different. One could say that Zani's second form could easily be mistaken for a brand new character, showcasing the development team's meticulous attention to detail. When she sheathes her weapon, she also enjoys showing off. For example, tossing her weapon casually right in front of enemies, or leaning against her shield and gently rising onto her toes, or even ignoring attacks completely, flipping through a book nonchalantly in her opponent's face, while having a weird invulnerability effect. Finally, here are some fun details and Easter eggs. First, many players joke that when Zani activates her ultimate, she resembles Furious Rajan, but she also has a cute kitten-like side. In the story, she'll reach out to pat your head and say,
谢谢，辛苦了。
When a dialogue option appears, be sure to choose Pat Back, because this will trigger an extra scene.
好吧。这你可没提前说啊。
Second, Zani isn't nearly as docile when facing enemies. You might not have noticed, but before combat, she'll casually press the timer in her hand. After delivering a beating, she pauses the timer as if to say, "You barely lasted 10 seconds against my fists." Third, Zani's files reveal that when she sleeps, she puts cotton covers on her horns to prevent them from piercing her pillow. This detail is visually depicted in a cutscene, somehow conveying a touch of endearing charm. Fourth, Zani's design of using a tie as a fist bandage draws inspiration from Nanami Kento in Jujutsu Kaisen. Coincidentally, this character also claims to dislike overtime work, but honestly lends a hand to others through his actions, a classic case of saying one thing but acting contrary. Fifth, Zani enjoys donning a mask to uphold justice late at night, a behavior reminiscent of Batman. Thus, the achievement Dark Knight that pops up after completing the mission is undoubtedly a homage to Christopher Nolan's classic film, The Dark Knight. Finally, in the anniversary event store, that big abyss. When you click on it, it'll make different expressions. So cute, I'm Blurred, a new content creator, celebrating the first anniversary of Wuthering Waves and also my first year as a content creator. Thank you all for following this channel. May your hit the rare in 10 draws, and may your Zani be max resonance. See you next time, bye!